our very popular alarm siren. Battery starts leaking inside, starts corroding the control board. So there are at least two things you can do. Either pull the fuse from the siren, check on the side of the car, panel fuse, I think that's the one on the drawer, near the drawers. Or undo the clip here, press on the side with the screwdriver and pull on it. But let me just try something. You notice I already replaced my bolt here. And that bolt also you can find inside the engine bay. Let me see if I can show you that. This is the same bolt as it looks from inside the engine bay. But to undo the connector, I always use a flat screwdriver or screwdriver to undo all connectors on this car. It's easier. So I'm just sliding like this, and I have to depress this plastic tab, and I will just take leverage on the metal tab here. That's so easy for maybe first time. It's going to be a little bit difficult because there's the dust in there and who knows. The way you disconnect this guy, again, we place a screwdriver right on this very part of the tab. You depress on this section here. But one thing, so now basically you need to green this, replace the bolt, well, remove the whole bracket. It has like a hook in there. Undo or just slack a little bit the bolts here. There's a lower and upper one. Slide the siren. You pull the whole bracket from there, slide the siren off the bracket. But I give you a shortcut. Maybe you are in a rush, or maybe you don't have a grinder, or maybe the grinder doesn't reach, you don't have a Dremel. Just grab the new siren, get the cable, pass it a little bit towards the side of the car so you can reach the cable more downwards. And you notice we have a hole here. Get the cable on the siren, on the newer siren or replacement one. Clip it nicely in place. Slide the puppy in there, and you get the cover back in place. I think it stays pretty nicely. The cover should be keeping in place because the cover gets really close. Maybe put 1-2 rivets or just some plastic clips. This is a shortcut, really ghetto. Just a different view to see how the siren sits in there. Very, very nicely, very flat with the cover. The cover comes very close to it, so it stays very nicely in place. Let me just show you how to test it, or just a quick way to trigger the alarm. But again, I recommend getting one used one from eBay. Genuine from Volvo are crazy price, but the used one off eBay, you can return them. If it's not good, you can return them. Some people like to cut this open here at the line between those two parts and replace the batteries. I'll put maybe a link with the batteries off eBay, but that works only if the electronic board is not too damaged. To test the siren and the alarm itself, maybe the easiest way is to lower a glass in the front doors. Close the doors, make sure everything is closed, trunk, hood, everything, and lock the car with the fob, and you'll see the lights flashing. You also have this light flashing slowly. It means the car is secured, it's closed, and then just grab the handle. And you have 10 seconds. 10 seconds, so Volvo gives you 10 seconds. Maybe you want to grab the fob and press the unlock here to untrigger the alarm, but after 10 seconds it should start screaming, and and it's really noisy, especially I'm inside the garage. But you just release the siren by unlocking one or more doors. What's interesting is that when this happens, when you try to well, also notice how this light is flashing, even though I did untrigger the alarm. But also check the display here. Let me just get the phone a little closer. You will have this message, alarm triggered, or also you may have full guard. And what I recommend you is when you see that thing, if you lock the car, let's just lock the car back again. When you see the alarm trigger, I'm not sure how it's going to react, but I remember when I saw full guard and I will lock the car and try to trigger the siren again, it won't go off. So the siren will stay shut, will stay off. What I do recommend is unlock the doors 3 times. So this once, twice, and 3 times. And then when you get inside the car, let's see if you still got that message. That was my door on the wall. Let's try again. And read the messages here. I do need washer fluid, but the alarm triggered or full guard is gone. And by now, when you lock the car, if someone tries to open the car, the alarm should ring or go off again. So that's just a tip. Don't forget to lock and unlock the car 3 times when you trigger the alarm. Just jog the front of the car, right front of the car. I recommend you use a good chuck stance because you are going to work a little bit here, and you got to get your head under the wheel, so be safe. It's a good time to check the flexible or the brakes here. Past 100,000 miles, if the car has been driving in the city, it's cracked here. We have to undo this over here, so we need to undo first this metal plate. That's a metal here, and being plastic, you should not use the ratchet on them. You should rather go with the just by hand. Just tighten them by hand. Don't be afraid they won't get loose because they are plastic. They don't loosen up by themselves, at least not that easy. So anyhow, if you tighten them with a ratchet, final tie, go really just a kick really gently, otherwise they shear inside and then just fall from there, and you get this may get inside the wheel and will may cause some problems in there. So again, don't tight like crazy with the ratchet. And by the way, just being there, notice the nice Canadian salt. You have 3 rivets here, and I think those are aluminum one, really easy to drill. But what I want to emphasize on it is that I did not replace them at all, and it's been like this for 3 years at last. And this kind of thing stays very nicely there. I have no problem, winter, summer, whatsoever. So there's no, I don't think it's a need. If you want to put some clips in there, if you want so. And then we have 1 clip, and there's another one here somewhere. Okay, so it's a little bit tricky because we have clips there and those studs there. So maybe try to undo the studs first. Just pull on the cover with some force. Be convinced. All right, so now it's hanging, and let's just release those 2 clips. Watch out, don't pull too much on it because you are going to scrap the paint a little bit, so you don't want that. So I'm now pushing towards the center of the car and keep the cover down and push towards the center of the car. Now it's released here, and there's a second one, I think. There you go. This is one, and that's the second guy. So they kind of hung underneath here the fender. So once the tabs are released, I just like to get the plastic out of the way, just toss it a little bit. It's not very easy with one hand, but it does work. And put it, there you go, put it toward the rear of the car.